Hello guys, ItsHypers here. In this video, I'll be going over the best way to catch alpha Pokemon in a PokeMMO. This is the best strat I've seen in the game, and I'll be going over exactly what Pokemon you use and how to use them while fighting alphas. This video will be split into 3 sections. First, I'll be talking about what an alpha Pokemon is in PokeMMO. I'll be going over what makes alphas different to normal Pokemon and how the fight works. Then I'll be going over the specifics of the team I'm going to be using. And then finally, I'll show some examples of me catching the alphas with the team. If you want to skip any of these sections, I have put timestamps in the description of the video, so you can quickly go and click away from any section you don't want to watch. If you enjoy PokeMMO and you're looking for more PokeMMO YouTubers, I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Only about 10% of the viewers that watch my videos are subscribed, so I'd like to get that number up a bit. I would also like to thank Theo Roderick for giving me this video idea. If you'd like any PokeMMO videos made or any guides made, comment them down below and I'll make them later. But with that being said, thank you guys for clicking on the video. I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps you. Let's start off with what an alpha Pokemon really is. An alpha Pokemon is simply a bigger, cosmetic version of the original Pokemon. In the wild, an alpha is guaranteed to have at least 2 IVs maxed out at 31. It is also guaranteed to have 2 IVs at a minimum of 15. This means the lowest amount of IVs you can get on an alpha Pokemon is 92. And that is if you're extremely unlucky. This is why a lot of active people catch every alpha that spawns in, as it does make you quite a lot of money due to them being used to breed better Pokemon with the 2x31 guaranteed IVs. It is also guaranteed to have its hidden ability. This is why a majority of Pokemon do not have alpha variants, simply because the devs have not released their hidden ability into the game. You can see a list of alphas using the Alpha Pokedex in-game. Alphas will spawn once every in-game day. The set time that alphas will spawn is anywhere between midnight to 7 PM. This is due to the fact that alphas stay in-game for 75 minutes. And as alpha spawns cannot overlap, it cannot spawn past 7 PM, as that means it will stay for longer than the in-game day. This chart here will explain the time that alphas will spawn in-game, and explains how it isn't a set time. Understanding exactly how it works doesn't really matter, but what's important is there's guaranteed to be at least 4 alphas a day. In battle, alphas have some unique mechanics to make it harder for you to catch them. All of the base stats of the alphas are increased. This means no matter the level or the Pokemon, the HP and defense will be higher than you're expecting them to be. Whenever you throw a Pokeball at the alpha, it has a high chance of doing an Omni Boost. An Omni Boost is a feature in Pokemon where every stat is increased by 1. This means the longer the alpha fight goes on and the more times you try to catch it, the stronger the alpha gets. Alphas can also go indignant. Alphas can turn indignant when any of their stats are at -3 or lower. When an alpha turns indignant, their accuracy is increased so they will never miss a move, and all of their negative stats are flipped to be positive. They also aren't affected by some moves and abilities within Pokemon, such as Wonder Guard or Endeavor. If you're trying to come up with any cheese strats for alphas, most of them have been discovered before and have been patched out of the game. The way I'm describing alphas make them sound really scary and difficult, although with the team I'm about to go over, it makes the alphas really easy. If you're progressed into the game and have level 100 Pokemon to catch these Pokemon with, they should be fairly easy to get. But the team I'm about to explain just makes them trivial and very easy and quick. The teams I use to catch alphas consist of 4 Pokemon. The first Pokemon, and the most important one, is a Skill Swap Contrary Spinda. Contrary is a unique ability in Pokemon that makes any stat changes do the opposite effect. This means if you Swords Dance, instead of gaining +2 attack, you'll actually lose -2 attack. With the move Skill Swap, you can give the ability Contrary to the alpha Pokemon. This means when it does the Omni Boost, instead of gaining 1 in all of its stats, it will instead lose 1 in all of its stats, making it weaker and easier to lower the HP of. It will also stop it from one-tapping all of your Pokemon. I recommend you get a Spinda with high defenses and speed. This is so it can tank more of the Pokemon's attacks before it dies. Although, if you're on a budget, you don't need this. The only requirement is that your Spinda is fast. This is so it can outspeed the alphas before it attacks to make sure that the skill swap goes off. The second Pokemon I would recommend you get is any Pokemon that has the move Super Fang. Super Fang is a really unique move in Pokemon. No matter what HP or defense the opposing Pokemon has, Super Fang will do 50% of its current HP. This means if you're up against a Chansey at 100% HP, if you Super Fang it, it will instantly drop down to 50% no matter the stat boosts. This is really important when going against alphas due to their increased stats, and it really increases the process of lowering the alpha's HP without the risk of fainting it. The third Pokemon I recommend you using is a Prankster Haze Pokemon. I personally use Murkrow, and this is so when the alpha turns indignant, you can instantly remove all of its positive stats. This will reduce the chances of you getting sweeped by a +6 alpha, because you can simply switch in the Murkrow and make it +0 in one turn. This isn't a requirement, I went a long time without this Murkrow, but since I've gotten it, it has helped a lot, so I am putting it here as a recommendation, although it is not required. The fourth Pokemon I'd recommend is a Klutz Trick Pokemon. Klutz is an ability that stops the user from using any of its held items. You use this Pokemon with an Assault Vest, so you can trick an Assault Vest onto the Alpha Pokemon. This is because some alphas are spawned in with healing moves, such as birds having the move Roost or Miltank having the move Milk Drink. When you trick an Assault Vest onto the alpha, it stops them from using any of the status moves, stopping it from constantly healing up when you're trying to catch it. There's only a few alphas that need this Pokemon on your team, as a majority of alphas do not spawn with a healing move, although I do recommend that you make this Pokemon and level it up just in case you do need it in the future. For the last two slots, I'd recommend any decent catching mons with False Swipe and Spore. I recommend you use Breelooms or Parasect or Smeargle. Any of them work as long as you can sleep it and catch it with. But that is the team selection. In the description, I'll put a poker paste with the whole team in, with the abilities, held items, IVs, all the things that I would recommend they have. But let's go on to how to use this team while catching an alpha. Before you encounter the alpha, make sure that your Spinder is in the first slot of your party. The first thing you do while in the battle is simply click Skill Swap on your Spinder, which will put the ability Contrary onto the alpha. Due to my Spinder being a bit bulky, it was able to survive the first turn as well. If this happens to you, you simply throw a Pokeball at it. Because of the ability Contrary, instead of gaining stats like it normally does, it will now be -1 in all of its stats. Due to this Lickitung learning Belly Drum, it actually means it now has -6 attack due to Contrary, which is really good for us. While Spinder's alive, you just keep throwing Pokeballs at the alpha until your Spinder dies. Every time you throw a Pokeball at it, it will -1 of every single stat it has, making it weaker and weaker. Due to its stats being -6, I'm personally just going to switch out manually due to it not being able to kill me. But in most alphas, it will kill your Spinder in the first or second go. Now I'm at the second Pokemon, I Spore it, and while it's spored, you Super Fang it. Due to this alpha learning Belly Drum, this catch will be really easy due to it not being able to damage any of my Pokemon. With that being said, I'm going to keep Super Fanging it until it's low HP. This is mostly so I can stall the turns, as it's not nighttime and I don't want to waste Ultra Balls. So I'm going to stall the battle until it's turn 11 or until it sleeps for 3 turns, so I can use a Dream Ball or a Time Ball. Because I'm close to turn 11, I'm going to manually switch out to Breloom so I can False Swipe it down to 1 HP. Most alpha fights will be much different to this due to them having better moves, and they will also not be -6 attack at this stage. Due to this alpha having Belly Drum though, this strat makes this catch extremely easy. Now that it's turn 11, I'm finally able to start throwing Timer Balls at it. At this stage, just keep throwing Timer Balls and putting it to sleep again when it wakes up. I usually end up catching it between 4 to 10 Timer Balls, and just like that, this alpha has been caught. Due to this alpha learning Belly Drum, I'm going to catch a few more alphas to show you what a real fight would look like, as this one was extremely easy. Moving on to the second alpha, this alpha is Alpha Knockdown. When alphas are a flying type, it most likely means they have the move Roost. Roost lets them heal up a majority of their HP, making it extremely hard to catch. Luckily in this catch, it didn't roost very often, so I was able to catch it quite easily. Although if you're having problems, this is where the Klutz Trick Assault Vest Pokemon comes in handy. I'm going to speed this catch up just so you can see that I am using the same strat for every alpha I catch. simply throwing Pokeballs until my Spinda dies, and then switching to my Super Fang Smeargle until it is low HP. Due to it being dusk, I'm using Dusk Balls to try catch it, and on its third turn of sleep, I was able to catch it quite easily in a Dream Ball. Here is another alpha catch using this strat. Even with a majority of my catching Pokemons being weak to Fire type, with this strat, the Pokemon get so weak from the Omniboost removals that you don't really worry about the damage of them at the end, and I was able to catch this alpha within 5 timables. This alpha is an example of me using my Murkrow in battle. I was doing the method as I've been doing before, but I got really unlucky and this Golem went indignant really early. When this happens, you let whatever Pokemon you're using die, and then you switch to your Murkrow so you can haze away all of its positive stat bonuses. Then you can simply switch back to whatever catching mon you want to use and continue trying to catch it. After your Murkrow removes most of its stats, it will go back to doing a little bit of damage to you until you start throwing Pokeballs back at it. This doesn't happen very often to me, but when it does, the Murkrow just saves the run. Otherwise, you'd be scrambling to lower all of its stats before it kills all of your active Pokemon. This way, you sacrifice 2 Pokemon instead of 4 or 5. But with that being said, I appreciate you watching till the end. I hope this video helped you a bit. I did spend a lot more time editing this video just to see if I enjoyed editing a more fast-paced type of video. If you guys enjoy this type of editing, let me know and I'll do more of it. Like I said at the start, if you like PokeMMO and enjoy watching my videos, please make sure you're subscribed. And if you have any suggestions, please let me know, because I am always looking for suggestions of videos to make. With that being said, thank you guys for watching once again, and I wish you luck in your shiny hunting. Goodbye.